Good morning, and how is everybody doing today? It's June. I don't know where you are, but the sun is out here. It's absolutely gorgeous. So, that hope of summer. So, what does the hope of summer mean? Obviously, you want to get. I think we've all been kind of dragging ourselves out that winter energy into more spring-like energy, feeling a bit more alive and excited and motivated to actually do things. Hopefully, I was thinking this morning. I normally 5:30, 6, but it's more like 6:30, 7 now. I'm waking up, still not fully back in full power. So checking in with your own body, and again, you're really understanding what does your body need. Now, a lot of the tips that I'm giving you over this month will work whether you actually juice or not. You can put a lot of this stuff into your salads, into your breakfast. But if you want tons, flood the body with probably more nutrition than you've had since you were breastfeeding. If you were lucky enough to be breastfed, flooding the body with all these live enzymes. And like I spoke last week about how when you do, and I'm looking at maybe we do a day juice fast later on in the month, but we'll talk about that. How that affects you emotionally. Now, this morning I had a sauna, did some red light therapy, did some skin brushing, and the big six. Thank you, Nicola Harkins. And then I actually, for the first time since I came back, put some castor oil in my body because it's dry like an old crocodile skin. And just how much better you feel when you go into your day that you've actually taken these very, very simple steps to make yourself feel better. So what I'm going to talk to you today very simply about is another thing you can add into your juice, which is linseed. Now, if you are a vegan or a vegetarian, you will probably know that you have to be very careful about your fat intake. And the reason for that is the membranes of the cell, the walls of the cell, are primarily made out of fats. 3, 6, and 9, and probably a whole load of other things, but let's just keep it simple for now. So a lot of the fats have to be eaten. The body doesn't make, well, this is according to the current information, the body doesn't make the fat. So we actually have to eat it to maintain what we call our essential fat profile. Now, linseed or flaxseed, you'll see there, whoop, bouncing all over. Don't want that going into my new computer. Tiny, tiny wee seeds. Now, the thing is, they have quite a hard husk. You get it in between your teeth. So that means that in order to get the fats out of this, you really need to chew properly. Or you can do what I did, which is just blast this in the NutriBullet for a few seconds, and you get the powder. And you can buy it like that. You can buy the linseed powder. So what is linseed? And then obviously you just add this to your juice. We're looking at making a great food greater. And that's what I've been trying to explain. Explaining beautifully, I'm sure you'll agree, all month, is how you can take like carrot, apple, and ginger, which is my favourite juice. You can put a little bit of cabbage, a little bit of beetroot, a little bit of courgette, sweet potato. That's an easy part. Whatever's there in your fridge, your vegetable rack, that's what you can use. And then once you have that amazing fresh juice, and that can be enough. But if you're like me and you want to get as much in as you can add in all the stuff we did yesterday. We had dock leaves, we had sorrel, we had daisy, we had dandelion petals, we had nettle leaves and nettle seeds. So you can really make this, and also it's creating new habits, right? That I can go out into my garden, or when I'm out for my walk, I can gather a few of these leaves and get them working through the body so that the body's getting all this new information, but it's coming from the planet, because trust me, Mother Nature is where it's at. That is where we get our wild medicine from, and it is created not by man, not in a laboratory, no microscopes or egos or money or anything switching hands here, just the land producing these incredible plants, which ultimately is where all medicines come from. So around a tablespoon a day, you're going to really improve the cell membrane. So why linseed's great, especially if you're a vegan and you're not getting a huge amount of fat. And that can be an issue for your health. The fats, the more we're learning about type 2 diabetes, hormone balance, Alzheimer's, dementia, brain fog, it's all about getting more fat into the body. So what flaxseed do is it allows you a level of fat into the body, which helps all the things that grow, your skin, your hair, your nails. So you should, after a couple of months, start to see the difference. Because remember, it's just gentle repetition. Every day I can add this in, I can increase my essential fat profile, and then the body will start to respond to that. Rarely, but not always, is it just a miracle. You know, that's we all want that miracle thing, isn't it? Well, boom, I took this cream or a pill and I look 20 years younger. You know, we know really the way the ecosystem works, that we're looking at this kind of gentle repetition and repetition until the body starts to absorb the new information. The other great thing about flax is, of course, the fibre. So the fibre is phenomenal for the microbiome and how that interacts with our digestive health and helps to seal any perforations that are there that may have been caused by poor diet, stress. Now, let's talk about linseed, flaxseed. It's the same thing, pretty much. And emotional health, mental health. Because mental health is really all about how you're feeling and how you're perceiving the world. And the first thing you would do if you're suffering from low moods and depression, and there can be obviously very obvious reasons for that if things are going on in your life. If you're not really understanding why you're not feeling 100%, hydration and essential fat profile are the two key things you need to look at. Now, why is that? Because if you imagine the cell, the essential fat profile is poor, which means that the wall of the cell will be contracted and dark. And if it's dehydrated, literally every cell becomes contracted and dark, and there is no cell communication. Information cannot flow on the physical, biological level, but also on the energetic level. So it is key for your mental health that you're hydrated and you have a good essential fat profile. I'll maybe do an actual whole video on that later on, but just right now we're just looking at how to power up your juices. So a tablespoon of flaxseed. Now, the other thing you can do is soak them. If you don't have it, you can do it with a mortar and pestle. You can bash them up that way. You can do it with your teeth. Imagine spending some time chewing. You can soak them, because what they've discovered is that sometimes when we're eating flax straight like this, it just goes in and comes straight back out again, because we've not broken down the husk. So that's why if you put it in the NutriBullet and then put a little bit of water in it. Now, like chia seeds, linseed, it can go a bit gloopy. Some people don't like that texture. A lot of princesses and princes in the world that, I don't like that. Think about why you're doing it. And maybe just put the water in for 5 or 10 minutes before. That does two things. It helps to hydrate. And this is all with all nuts and seeds that you're putting into your juice. Get into a habit of soaking things overnight. If you think, I'm going to make my juice in the morning, that's what I do. Put my wee things in dishes, put water in them, and then they can just get battered into the juice in the morning. So the two things that happen is it hydrates it, so it makes it easier for your body to digest it. Now, in general, the older you are, the longer you've been using your washing machine, i.e. your digestive system. So give it a wee hand, treat it lovingly and kindly so that it still works. Number 2 is you kick off the germination process. And guess what that is? You take that seed and you put water and light into it, and you start the power of that seed, the full power to make the plant. So imagine the amount of photosynthesis that's going on in these seeds, and you're ingesting that life, that energy at growth. And again, going back to the fibre that's in there, because the juice, obviously you're taking all the fibre out for a very good reason. But if you're making a smoothie, because maybe you don't have a juicer and you just use your NutriBullet or your blender and some water or some milk or nut milks, you can put the fibre content up with flaxseed. You can also put the fat content up with some MCT oil, which is just a concentrated triple glyceride from the coconut. Well, the one I use is from coconut. So there are ways that you can, because what we're looking for is quick ways, cheap ways that are not going to cost an arm and a leg, that we can recommend to everybody regardless of budget. And linseeds are super cheap, especially if you buy the big bag, and it will last you for ages. And then you can just add that into things. Again, if you're maybe having yogurt and fruit or porridge and fruit, scatter a little bit of that on top. And you're going to absolutely increase and improve your fat profile. Now, like I was saying, if you're hydrated, this is depression, dark, dehydrated, contracted. And when you feel like this, which I felt like pretty much the whole time I was in Gran Canaria, you don't really want to engage with protocols, although I did make myself do a few things, but then I had to give up and just go, I need to let the body do its due. I can't participate. And maybe that's a good place to get to. Just lie on the beach or lie in my bed and I'd go for a wee swim, give the body a wee bit of sunlight, and then just allow it to heal itself, maybe some sound healing frequencies. But as soon as you start to feel better and that you get your hydration up and your essential profile up and the cells start to expand, and this is gratitude as well, and you can feel one thing that you're grateful for, a hot running shower, if you have one, or a cold running shower, you might be equally as motivated for that. And the cells can expand. Guess how you feel when the cells go into expansion? You're like, oh, I'm starting to feel a bit better. I'm starting to be able to maybe participate in life again. I'm maybe feeling a bit of enthusiasm for doing things that are good for me. So flaxseed can help all of that. And of course, if you're out and about in the summer, wearing, lighter clothes, you've got bits of the body out that, let's face it, in Scotland, certainly you've not had out for months. So you want to maybe feel and look a bit better. So that's really going to help your skin and your nails and your hair. It won't turn it blue, don't worry. All of that is really going to help, but also your microbiome and the flora. When you're juicing, two things can happen. One, it'll go right through you, or two, it can make you constipated. Both of these things have happened to me. And then if you're juicing every single day, it probably have a no visible, noticeable impact on your digestive action. But understanding your bowel movements and how closely connected your health is to that. Are you extracting and are you eliminating? It's all for healing. It's all about elimination, going through the liver, the kidneys, the gallbladder, all the way out through the intestines, the colon, the bowel, and getting it out. So what we take and what we get rid of, two critically important things in terms of healing. So yeah, super inspiring. I didn't make my juice today yet because I'm not going to, I like to fast in the morning. I genuinely do not want to put anything in my body at this time in the morning. So I just go with that. Sometimes it's different, but in general, that's what I do. So, but also if you're going out to work, you want to make your juice. And if it's a couple hours old, it's fine. It's absolutely fine. Just do that. What we tend to do with especially if you've got that really, focused in on details mind, which I don't have, as well, you want, what about the juice? What's the right juicer? Are these the right vegetables? Are these the right fruits? Is this right? How long do I need to, does it stay good for? All of that, trust me, I've seen people get phenomenal results with making all their juice in the morning. I include myself in this, but all our clients at Heaven Health Boutique, they would get their 4 juices in the morning, and that's what they would drink throughout the day when we did the 5-day juice fast, and they still get phenomenal results. So whether you're doing it just for a quick cleanse, whether you're doing it to gently start really helping the body repair, restore, and regenerate, you decide why would you go to the bother of doing this. Because as you may see around you, there's so much dis-ease right now. And I'm going to do a whole series of videos for people who are struggling with their health, autoimmune wise. Maybe since 2020, their health's just taken a downward turn. They're not really, there are no drugs that can fix this. There's no operations that can fix this when you've got chronic fatigue and IBS and all these digestive, and you're fogging your brain and you just have no joie de vivre, which is what we all want, isn't it? So remember, intermittent fasting, breathing. You can find so many brilliant breath works on YouTube right now and on Spotify. Letting go, EFT, really getting in on what is it I'm fixating on, what is it I'm procrastinating on. We'll do some more of that as well this over the next month. Then the big 6. That's so quick. Remember, down here at the neck, arm, just at the outside of the arms, the belly, and then in at the crotch, and then in at the back of the knees. Did I miss out? Is that 6? 1, 2, 3, 4. I have missed one out. What's the one I've missed out? 1. Oh, aye, the collarbone. So there's 1, the neck, collarbone, and then the arms. That's it. That's your top 3. Then the belly, the crotch, and the back of the knees. That's the big 6. And then with the movement in May, remember the big thing now, 20 minutes once a day, fairly vigorous walking. If you pop it Tai Chi, Qigong, I'm a big, big fan of that. 2 or 3 movements per day, just adding in these really simple things. And then we're in June, we're juicing. So every challenge that we're giving you, just keep, if you can, keep it going. Make realistic goals for yourself. Maybe you can't walk 20 minutes every day. Maybe you've got young kids. Maybe you're overloaded. Maybe you've got your parents, you're just like, I don't have time. Do the Qigong movements. Find a way. Maybe even just go, right, okay, Sunday. I think we need to take Sundays back, shut everything down and make it the day of rest again. Maybe a Sunday I go for a walk for an hour. It's up to you. Remember, it's like, don't look at what did I do or not do today. Look at it over the month and then over the year and think, well done. You've made changes. You've done what you need to do. And I'm going to be making a whole series of videos because obviously having been at Bring the Noise and seeing all the people whose health has been trashed by what we were told to do, I really want to help. I want to make it a very clear pathway, because none of us are guaranteed. None of us know what's going to happen today or tomorrow or the next day in our lives. But we do categorically know that if you can start adding these things in, you are going to feel so much better. And it's taking control. You feel good. Because after I did the big 6 this morning, I thought, I feel quite alert. And then I thought, is that my imagination? Or did I feel more alert because I stimulated my lymph? Or is it just the fact that I actually remembered to do it and did it that makes me feel good? Because all of these things together, you can't separate them out. Even when you think about all the variations we have of, there's different ways to do it. Your job is to find what works for you and what is your why. For me, the physical, I love to be physical. I love climbing up hills. I love, jumping off the boat on the sea. I've got my air sup. I will be back out on that very soon. All of these things that I absolutely love to do. So physical health is really important to me. And I know it's not that important to other people. As long as they can walk and get up and down, it's fine. And also feeling at peace. So what am I doing tomorrow? Yeah, tomorrow, we'll do a little bit of tapping around juicing and great habits. And then we'll really get going for the summer. Okay, so let me know what your juices are. Please share your photographs, share your ideas, and obviously like and share. We're going to be, obviously, my next big thing is opening the Pop-Up Healing Centre in Skye. We're going to be doing some fundraising and a raffle for that. So the more you can help me share and get the word out, we are going to create a healing oasis in Scotland. It's going to happen. It's just when and how it's going to happen. That's the interesting part. But let the universe work on that. We'll just put the focus there and see the healing oasis already there with an amazing garden, and beautiful views and gorgeous treatment rooms and a beautiful yoga studio and lovely bedrooms and colours and smells. Imagine it. Imagine. Yeah, awesome. Right, have a great day and I'll see you tomorrow. Ciao.